this is all temporary. You watching this video is temporary. This won't last forever.
Hachitos and Takis. Hachitos and Takis instead of sloppy toppy. Hachitos and Takis. Hachitos and Takis instead of sloppy toppy. Hachitos and Takis. Hachitos and Takis.
Hey, what's up, my cochinas and cochinas? I'd like to welcome you back to another fucking mukbang. It sounds funny when I say fucking mukbang because I'm immediately cursing, but today we're going to talk about something very serious. So if you came here to laugh, I suggest you watch some of my older videos because today we're going to get real serious, all right? I got some Taco Bell on deck. I got a, what do they call it, a Cravings box. It was $5.99 on the app. Came out to like $6.59 because I upsized the drink. Comes with a, it comes with a few items, but you can kind of pick and choose what you want. So I got the chalupa. No, actually, I'm sorry. I got the, was it a gordita crunch? But you can get a chalupa, you can get a crunch wrap, or you can get like vegetarian items or something like that. And then I got the beefy 5-layer burrito, but I got it without the beans and without the nacho cheese and without the sour cream. So it's pretty much just beef and cheese. But you can get a beefy 5-layer, you can get a bean burrito, you can get a soft taco, a spicy potato soft taco, or you can get a crunchy taco. And then lastly, I got the chips and cheese. And for that, you can either get that or cinnamon twist or the, I think it's like loaded potatoes. It's like potatoes with cheese and sour cream. So that's what I got. And then I ordered the Mountain Dew Kickstart. This stuff is delicious. If you guys haven't tried it yet, it's really delicious. And I'm gonna drink that after I finish my coffee. Yes, I know. Ton of caffeine. I need it today. And so if you're interested in what we're gonna talk about today, it's gonna be about death, all right? About dying. So if you don't like talking about death, if you don't like talking about dying, then this video is not for you. We all started dying the day we were born. Everybody's dying. Most people don't know when they're gonna die. The reason I say most is because there's some people who get diagnosed with diseases and they get a time limit. Some people hurt themselves and take themselves out. But for most people, we don't know when we're gonna go. We can apply as many health principles as we want and still die early, or we can go wild, live a foul life, and live long, or vice versa. Now, I'm not saying that do whatever you want, live hard, because you never know when you're gonna die. You can live forever, who knows? Nah, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, we're just put here to do our best. No one gave us instructions on what to do when we got here. No one said, this is how you live life. Yeah, we have parents put in our lives, but were your parents perfect? Mine's weren't. You know, my dad struggled with alcoholism, drug use, and other demons. My mom as well. And they did the best that they could with what they knew and what they had. And as time went on, they did things to improve themselves and make themselves better and no longer succumb to the generational curses that were put on them. You can break generational curses. Is it as easy as making a decision? I believe so, but you can't just make a decision and like that all of a sudden you don't struggle, or all of a sudden you don't have generational curses. I think you can make a decision, and with that decision needs to come some wisdom, and with that wisdom you apply what you need to apply to break those habits, those deeply rooted habits. But anyways, what I'm getting at is we all die, and I want to talk about that. I want to get more into that. I'm going to let you know my experiences with death. Not like personally, like I've never died. I know that sounds stupid, but yes, there's people who medically have died and been revived. I've never had that experience. But I'm just letting you know my experience with death, how young I was when someone died, how I handled it, how I teach my kids, or how I, show my kids, what I tell my kids about death, and then just death in general, what do I think about my own life and things like that. So we're gonna get into that, all right? first, let's go ahead and start the, let me get this little food tray that doesn't work that well, but get it going. Let me, you know what, hold on. Is that off? All right. Let me go ahead and put that there. I'm gonna leave that running, which is the air conditioning. And then, in case you're wondering what the setup looks like, it's pretty much just the food trays right there. I can, if you guys just want to look at my mouth the whole time, you can see the tray. But I get my tripod today, so my future videos will be a little bit better. And this tray, you know, I don't have like a tilt steering wheel, so it's kind of hard to adjust. I mean, I do have it. I mean, it's at the lowest is what I'm saying. It won't go any lower. So whatever. Hopefully it doesn't drop. I'm just putting the nachos on here for now. What I like to do with my nacho cheese at Taco Bell. Oh, before you, I mean, you're probably wondering yourself, bro, you just said you were doing keto yesterday. Well, I should have knew better, because out of the hundreds of times I've tried keto and low carb, I never stick to it. So it is what it is. I'm not gonna say I'm on anything right now. I'm just eating, and that's it. And we're talking about death, all right? So let me go ahead and, oh, anyways, I'm sorry, it's like off camera. So I put 2 hot sauces in the nacho cheese, and I'm just, you know, swirling it around a little bit. So now it's a spicy cheese. And so go ahead and dip that in, get that going. That's yummy. I'm keeping the sunglasses on today because we're talking about a dark subject, all right? So I didn't take death seriously. When I was a kid, my grandpa died, and I was somewhat close to him, but I knew he wasn't my blood grandpa. I never knew either of my blood grandpas. So my dad's dad, I met him once, and I was like a late teen already. So the story with that is, my dad's dad, who has already passed away, he had like 2 families. So, you know, he wasn't really around. So that's all I'm gonna get into with that. But my step grandpa, my grandma's husband, he died when I was fairly young. I think I was like 8 years old, maybe. Could have been a little bit older, maybe 10. But I remember going to his funeral, and me and my cousins still kind of just joking around. We were kids. I don't think we really understood. My daughter's messaging me on Messenger. I forgot I can keep in contact with her while I'm gone, now that I downloaded that Messenger for kids. So anyway, we didn't take it serious. We didn't really understand it. I've had family members die here and there during life, but you know, I've always, I don't want to say I never took death seriously, but it took a while for me to take it seriously. Death is interesting. It's definitely interesting. Every time I think about it, I think to myself, like, man, death is a part of life. It's just as much a part of life as living is. There's death all around us. Everybody knows somebody who died. But we don't think about it on the day-to-day that, man, I'm gonna die. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, sometimes I look at my kids and it makes me sad because I know that one day I won't be here. But all you can do is set them up to be able to handle it. set them up for a good life. Teach them everything you can. Teach them everything you know. Try to prepare them for your death. I've told my daughter, my oldest, that we all die. One day I won't be here, but you know, it's just part of life. You know, and I've told her that since she was young, where she probably couldn't understand it too much, but it's the truth. So anyway, I haven't had any, no, I'm sorry, I have had near-death experiences. I don't even know if I'd want to call them that. Close calls. Like, you know how you be driving and you're like, damn, good thing I saw that person, because had I not saw them, I'd be dead. They would have crashed into me or something like that. So, different people died in my life growing up. I still have both of my parents. I'm blessed. For those that don't, you know, I know it's hard. I have cousins who, you know, their parents passed early, and it's tough. I had two grandmas that I'm very close to, or was very close to, and they passed. But I look at all the blessings I had, and I'm thankful that I got to spend time with them before they left. So, when it comes to death, it's just about preparing yourself. It's about being mentally, emotionally prepared ahead of time, knowing that it's going to come, that knowing one day your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, yourself, your kids, you know, because kids sometimes pass before their parents, won't always be here. And with that said, you know, you want to be able to spend as much time, quality time, with those family members, because this is all temporary. You watching this video is temporary. This won't last forever. Either this channel won't last forever, YouTube may not last forever, the internet may not last forever. I don't know how it all works, but what I do know is in this moment, I'm going to enjoy it. In this moment, I'm going to be thankful that I'm able to talk to you guys, that you guys are able to listen to me and appreciate what I have to say, because I'm nobody, you know, in the grand scheme of things, I'm really nobody. In fact, I probably, you know, I struggle with that, you know, thinking, being confident in who I am sometimes, but ultimately, death happens to all of us. So my question to you guys is, how do you handle death? Is it tough? Does it take a lot out of you? I kind of feel like I've been to my grandma's funerals and it was pretty tough, but you know, I kind of moved on. Like I'm the type of person, like, from day to day, I think about my grandmas and I miss them and I love them, but at the same time, I do understand that both of them had a pretty full life, and both of them had a great impact on my life. And then also my oldest daughter, you know, got to see them and spend time with them, and that, you can't put any value on that. That's invaluable. That's it's a lovely thing to know. So we went to the graveyard, or the cemetery, the other day to put flowers and pinwheels on our loved ones' graves. And I went to my grandma's graves and I started crying. I started getting teary-eyed and started missing them, because both of their headstones have their pictures on them too. And I was talking to Joy, and I'm like, how do you, it's so weird, like day to day I could think about them and it won't make me emotional, but just standing here, it's a different feeling. It brings it up in you that, man, you know, this is permanent. This is where they are. They're not here anymore. And it's just like the reality hits when you're actually at the cemetery. You know, my daughter was crying too, and I was just consoling her, rubbing her back, but it's a part of life. It's with that said, it's a healthy thing with it being a part of life. If it's a part of life, then, you know, I don't want to say that everything that's a part of life is healthy, but I think you can make it healthy. So, Death is, when you think about death with yourself, though, that's where it really gets, I don't want to say tricky, but interesting. Any of you guys that do YouTube or that vlog, you ever find it weird when you're out and about recording and somebody sees that you're eating and filming or something, they still park hella close to you? Or did that just mean? So this is the beefy 5-layer burrito, but I took out 3 of the layers. I took out the sour cream, I took out the nacho cheese, and I took out the beans. So it's a beefy 2-layer burrito now, because I don't want the digestive issues from the beans. I don't like when a burrito has too much sour cream, and the nacho cheese is not that great, even though I'm dipping it in nacho cheese. In terms of your own death, when I think of my own death, I'd like to die of natural causes. Yeah, who wouldn't? If I'm honest with myself, I definitely don't see myself being one of those people who lives hella late, or who lives a long time. I think it's possible I can make it to my 80s, but that's only probably if I drop some weight. Life is temporary. It's a trip. It really is. We're all doing things that are temporary. I think we should never consider the things that we do to be for eternal purposes, you know what I mean? Like, if you work out, you're doing that so you have a better quality of life while you're here. Another reason being is to show your kids an example of, you know, how to be healthy and live well while they're here. But it's true. We all die. You just got to do your best with what you have and while you're here. So sometimes I think to myself, man, I don't feel like I'm gonna live that old. Then there's times where I'm like, but you never know. You don't. I will say one thing. It's very hard to even though death can seem scary, and even though death is unpredictable, and even though I know I'm increasing my odds of dying earlier by eating shit like shit, or, you know, by overeating, or by not exercising enough, or by drinking a little too much beer. Even though I know those things, it's still tough to break habits. It's still tough. So I gotta tell myself, you gotta just do your best with each meal, with each day, with each decision. Do your best. And I also feel that sometimes you just have to accept yourself as you are, because everyone's story is different. So that's it. I think I'm just babbling on at this point, but I just wanted to talk about death a little bit. It's kind of on the mind. So hope you guys appreciated the video. And I still got a chalupa left, or that gordita crunch. but I kind of am just gonna nibble on it since I'm not too hungry anymore. But I thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.